Hey, jury family, welcome to Kourt Chronicles. I miss you guys so much. Thank you for your patience. It's been extremely busy with end of the year deadlines, wrapping up a lot, but definitely would have been anxious to get to the jury family with updates on the Shanquella Robinson case and where we are with everything. Wanted to definitely look at all of the new information coming out, the possibility with Kalia destroying evidence. It was reported by Tisa Tells. Also, her parents have continued to speak out, and more about what's going on the Mexico side. So wanted to tell everyone, please get your wine, get your water, your tea, because this is going to be a lengthy session, but I want to go down the timeline and also look at the new charges that could be added in the wake of them destroying evidence. So we know at the outset the parameters of the case and the people involved, all pictured on the screen. We know that they lied about the mechanism of injury. We know that they were insidious with how they navigated the situation after Shanquella passed away. So now the public continues to call for justice, and it appears that Mexico is slowing down its steam on this case, but we, the public, will not. So there is still the one active warrant, but we need 5 more warrants coming out of Cabo. And now with this information about Kalia destroying evidence, there is room for De La Rosa to bring forth more charges. In the United States of America, our judicial system, the destruction of evidence is criminal. And depending on the extent and the jurisdiction, it could fall in a misdemeanor category or a felony category. So with the Cabo 6 lying to officials, attacking their friend and ultimately ending her life, committing, fraud, financial fraud against her parents, and now destroying evidence, this all reaffirms and reiterates this is not the conduct of a group of individuals who demonstrate or are trying to say they're innocent. Nancy Grace entered chat, and she recently said that she believed it was premeditated, as many commentators on this case have also emphasized. And the belief of the premeditation is because of the jealousy. So on October 28th, Shanquella, goes to Mexico. She's feeling good. She treated her friends to a luxurious vacation. And her father spoke to CNN, along with other various media platforms, about his daughter going to vacation. Her mom spoke out and talked about how she talked to her daughter. They were preparing to eat tacos. She was in good spirits. And then shortly thereafter, they called and said that she had fallen ill, alcohol poisoning. So her mom was, taken aback, but just, trying to understand, okay, well, what's going on? How do you know it's alcohol poisoning? Is someone there to get help? They finally called for help, but they lied to the medical officials about the mechanism of injury. And they say that she can't talk, because she's just drunk and laid out. Unbeknownst to anyone, why the medical officials just accept this and treat Shanquella based on the Cabo 6 lies, and ultimately Winter Donovan's interference with her going to the hospital by just saying, no, she can stay here. And for some unbeknownst reason, the medical officials complied and deferred to the Cabo 6 instead of saying, this is just some drunk, youngins on vacation. We need to make sure this young lady is safe. So Shanquella never made it home, as we all know. Shortly thereafter, Shanquella was pronounced dead. Now, what happened from the medical officials to the Cabo 6 leaving and then Shanquella later being discovered by the maid, that's where the web of lies really get entangled. Everyone had a different story. But what we do know is the parents received calls for requests for money. The parents received calls about her condition worsening without adequate or accurate or honest information. And then worse, the Cabo 6 went to the parents and consoled them and ate with them, picked out their funeral outfits, all of these things after they returned from Cabo, Mexico. So Kalia not only being a snake in the grass on one level for smiling in the family's face, but now a deeper snake in the grass for destroying what could be critical evidence for De La Rosa trying to unpack what happened to Shanquella Robinson and trying to piece together this heinous crime. So this opens the door for the prosecutor to consider bringing forth the charges against the Cabo 6 for destruction of evidence. And, that extends to all of them if they have disposed of what could be critical evidence to putting together what happened, what was the motive, what was the means of executing this heinous crime so that the public can have answers, but most importantly, so that her family can have answers, and so all 6 of them can be brought forth in a court of law, be that in Mexico and or the United States. So now we're at the place where the governor recently spoke out of North Carolina about his concerns about the case. Shanquella's family has spoken out about the case to the point of exhaustion. I mean, her parents, I'm sure at this point, are exhausted. And the father even said recently in an interview that Miss Robinson just, was going to tap out for a while because she was just exhausted. Because in addition to all of the media that they're doing, trying to get answers, they're still grieving their family that's grieving the unexpected, tragic, and just heartbreaking death of their daughter. So as the media continues to push for answers, the Cabo 6 continues to engage in extreme deceit. And I just want to play a clip of Shanquella's mother speaking about the matter, just because we're doing a recap of all the receipts. So just really look at this from a totality case and how large it could be if De La Rosa does what he needs to do and bring forth all 6 warrants.
Bombshell news contradicting everything they'd been told by the so-called friends and the police report.
When they called me and the autopsy came back, it all made sense.
According to the death certificate from Mexico, the 25-year-old died from a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, a dislocated neck. There was no mention of alcohol or cardiac arrest, and the approximate time of death was at 3 p.m., just 15 minutes after the injuries.
And so, jury family, I'm back. I wanted to play that clip from Ms. Robinson, just letting us know the extent of the betrayal and how they picked out the funeral clothes and really sat in her face, smiled in her face, so disrespectful. And meanwhile, Mexico was trying to put together the fragmented pieces of what happened because they were unclear if this was just a medical situation gone wrong or some type of heinous crime. So after they came back and the autopsy was revealed, the Cabo Six disappeared, went silent on social media. They did not attend the funeral. They stopped coming to Shanquella's mom's home because at this point they had been exposed. And Mexico now had information that directly contradicted their statements. So De La Rosa brought forth a charge for not only homicide, but specifically femicide under Article 325 of Mexico's Penal Code. And femicide is when a homicide is based in gender-based hate. And it also could be some type of assault with someone. So it could be either or, based according to Mexico's law. So also the FBI in the United States, specifically the North Carolina headquarters, opened an investigation, which sounds impactful, but y'all, if I'm honest, I feel like the FBI always opens investigations but never really close them. Because once we hear the FBI has opened an investigation, it gives naturally a peace of mind. But people often, get distracted by other, issues going on in society and don't get a chance to circle back. But at this point, we still haven't heard any more updates from De La Rosa regarding the status of the additional warrants and updating any charges. And the FBI in the United States has not provided any statement, any press release, or anything of that nature. Nazir's mom released a statement, and she was attempting to proclaim the innocence of her son, but it's difficult to do that because Nazir's own statement was so heartless, so disconnected from any form of empathy that I just have to call out his mom on how disingenuous it is to say that in the face of one, no one has been arrested for the heinous crime. Your son is not a victim, ma'am. He is absolutely not. And two, well, that's two. And three, if he were a victim, he sure as hell didn't behave like one. He didn't come forth. He didn't be honest. He didn't provide any information he had. He got on social media one time with a blunt in his hand and a Bible in his hand and flapped his chops. But he hasn't done anything to assist with the authorities in bringing forth justice. So Nazir can have several seats, preferably in the back of a police car, and his mom can have a seat too, respectfully to Miss Mom Dukes. And I am going to play just a snippet of Nazir's statement so that we could just really look at the tonality and just his energy and the lack of empathy that is just pretty rampant across the board for the Cabo Six when they are discussing whom they call their friend.
Let me extend my birthday, and I'm gonna go to this trip. Cause I got asked to go on the trip in June, but I didn't reply because I didn't know what I was doing for my birthday. Since the next birthday was the next week after mine. So, where I was at? Oh, yes, I left on Saturday. The trip was from Friday to Monday, October 28th, 29th, 30th. 31st going home. Didn't even make it there. So I get off my flight around like 2:16 Mexico time. I guess we 2 hours ahead. 2:16 p.m. I make a phone call. To everybody who there. Like, I need the address. So during this phone call, that's the first time I heard that Quilla wasn't feeling good. They told me that Quilla was sick and she was showing signs of alcohol poisoning. And they got that because one of their friends told them that they were seeing signs. So she was showing symptoms of alcohol poisoning. But I didn't know it was a fight. Hold on. I got my Bible. And I'm gonna put this blunt down, because I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie on that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not saving nobody's ass. I'm not protecting my ass. I'm just coming here to keep it real, because y'all in my DMs going crazy. And all this posting my address and stuff. Like, y'all can go there if y'all want, but it's not gonna be pretty. But when I got there, it took us an hour. My taxi driver, it took us an hour to get to the villa because there was traffic. I don't know why. So I got to the villa around 3:26. Instantly, as soon as I go in there, I go to Quilla. Quilla didn't leave my side, none of that, till the nurse came. But I got too far ahead. So Quilla was laying on the couch in the game room. The fucking villa was like a big ass mansion, no upstairs, all tile on the wall, tile on the floor, straight tile, nothing else. So it was just a big ass villa. I don't know if y'all can view it on the website. Go to Cabo Villas and look at how big this shit is and what it look like. But you're gonna see. So when I got there, she was in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good, so I instantly go to her, put her on her side, get a bag, and all of that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart, hope it out. I was there the whole time in the game room, and then they was talking about cooking, so we made it to the living room. I cut on some soft music, sitting with her, rubbing her head, just chilling, waiting until the nurse came, because that's what I was informed that was happening. At first, I was told that it was a male coming, and then a female showed up. So by that time, I skipped another thing. Quilla wasn't found dead. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room. That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Quilla was not dead when I got there. Yeah, boom. So it's like, okay, so when I get in there, I go in, I see Quilla, I see she chilling, I put her on her side, I go out and make that video where I'm talking about I'm here, that I quick it up. I'm thinking like, damn, we got stuff to do, ATVs, a boat, dinner. I missed the chefs, I missed everything. Anyway, fuck that.
So as we heard from Nazir, and I'm sure many have heard his full statement, no empathy. And he emphasized how he didn't get an opportunity to engage in any exciting events. I wonder who paid for those events that he was eager to go on. It was no emphasis on, oh my goodness, we are here in Mexico and my homie is sick. And literally, we are very far away from home. Nothing he's saying is adding up. How do you not see a woman battered and bruised? And then he emphasized the towel in the villa and how big it was, which talks about Shanquella and the extent of her generosity. But also think about during a fight being slammed on hard tile over and over again. So within the framework of this case, we have people who are not only heartless, but have yet to exhibit any genuine empathy whatsoever for someone that they called themselves friends. No, they were foes. These are foes on the DL. These people are down low enemies waiting to strike, lying to official authorities, causing confusion and chaos between official reports because of their lies. And now officials have to go untangle this web and figure out the pieces to Shanquella and what led up to the ending of her life. in Cabo, Mexico. So right now, Mexico is still being boycotted because of the insufficiency and lack of swiftness with communicating with the public. And I understand things will not happen overnight. I get that. I understand with legalities, there are processes, administrative, procedural, technical, all of that one must go through. But in a case as large as this, I just only ask of all officials in the United States and Mexico to treat it as all other cases and provide answers. I mean, here we are, December 17th, and the best the mainstream media can do is parakeet, and when I say repeat old news as if it's new. There hasn't been any significant updates from the mainstream media. And that's what I keep wanting the mainstream media to say on this case, because content creators have been saying on it. Shanquella Robinson's family continue to grieve and also demand for answers. Her family has asked that, all six be brought forth in a court of law to answer for their participatory, criminal, and felonious role in ending Shanquella Robinson's life in paradise. So now with one arrest, a warrant, I think the media thinks that's going to assuage, appease, and appeal to people. But this case will not, fizzle out. We are not going to let it go cold. So even with that one warrant, we need to see more as far as public communication. And I'm not asking for anything that is privileged or that cannot be disclosed, but I am asking for the basics to let us know if the investigation is ongoing. Where is De La Rosa as far as activating Interpol to help facilitate with apprehending and getting the person that the warrant is listed for? So there are a lot of things that we still need answers, and we're hoping. Also, I checked Interpol's website, and as of this morning, there isn't any active warrants from Mexico on this case. As of December 17th, 2022, Mexico only has 2 warrants, and they are for people that are not related to this case. So we still don't have that information updated in the Interpol database. And the disclaimer is, it is optional for countries to post the warrant, but I will also say, for just educational purposes, to let you know, generally if a country posts the warrants for people, they do it across the board. It's either we do or we don't. It's not a sometime. So with Mexico posting the 2 warrants that are older, pre-existing, we know that that's their usual MO, is to post them and also put up their pictures on the Interpol site. So right now, Mexico only has 2 warrants for people not related to Cabo, something you just other cases. So we don't even have the Cabo 6 warrant uploaded and listed into the Interpol database, which is public information. Shanquella's sister, in addition to her dad and mom, is also calling for the extradition of these people. It's unfair that the family has to walk around and potentially know that her killers are lurking in the community, maybe frolicking at Starbucks or going to work like Elise. Because it's my understanding Elise is, not a leave of absence. She's still going to work. So everyone who's played a role in this has not been brought forth to justice fully while the public awaits. And cases like this are most frustrating when you have video evidence, when you have enough technological evidence to get your indictments for all 6 people. I really don't understand the lack of aggression and vigor toward indicting criminals. So until this matter is handled in a way that gives the public a peace of mind and also brings forth justice for Shanquella Robinson's family, Mexico respectfully is still being boycotted. If someone can get away with murder, femicide, or premeditated deletions in your country and 6 people participate, and the most you can do is come out with 1 warrant, people will assume naturally that that's not a safe place to vacation. So we need De La Rosa to really, really lay on the heat. So as the new year unfolds, and I understand the end of the year is tough for all attorneys, regardless of whatever practice field you're in, but we're looking forward to seeing how the prosecution continues to handle this matter. Because right now, they get about a C- because they seem to be lightweights on indicting criminals and their co-conspirators. Especially when there's video evidence, Instagram statements, and all of these different pieces of evidentiary proof to help you bring forth a slam dunk on the indictment. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, what is a video in a court of law? And we have the brutality on film. And, without clothes adds to the level of inhumanity and amplifies the prosecution's ability to bring forth torture, crimes against humanity. When you add the layer of humiliation and taking clothes off, that falls under the torture category. So De La Rosa has the evidentiary juice he needs to slam down these 6 warrants. Also, I understand there has been the reports about Dejanay being detained, and allegedly she tweeted or sent out a message on Instagram saying that she'll be out soon, and like an eye roll emoji. But I don't know. I'm gonna say this. I don't believe it. I think Dejanay is faking it. I don't think she's detained anywhere except holed up in her house. And I think she is faking it, trying to keep the public off her trail. Because if she had been detained, there would be a public record of her arrest, Ms. Ma'am. Dejanay, if you were detained, there would be a record of your arrest, period. That's the United States basic criminal law. And also, if you are detained, how and why are you on Instagram sending out messages? So either you lying about being detained, or you up in a slammer breaking the rules because you don't smuggle in the cell phone and you sending out messages. So which one is it, Dejanay? Are you lying about detainment, or are you breaking the rules in the slammer? I'm gonna go with the latter and not the former. So within the totality of this case, we still have Shanquella's death unavenged in the legal system. We have a start, but it's feeble at best. And I wanted to be sure to come forth with more updates to just kind of let you guys know where we are with the cell phone allegations, just highlighting Nazir's mom, bringing forth her take on it, her unsolicited 2 cents, and understanding that Shanquella's parents recently at a rally over the weekend, last weekend, continued to call for justice, continued to plead for justice. And Shanquella's mom, Ms. Robinson, God bless her soul, sending so many prayers, has pleaded and cried for justice so much that she's reached a point of exhaustion. Shanquella's father continues to grieve and speak with the public, seeking answers and demanding, as we all are, that all 6 be brought forth in a court of law for the cover up, for their corruption, for their destroying evidence, hiding receipts, just the full extent of criminality and chaos that erupted after they took their friend's life. So, jury family, thank you so much again for your patience. More updates to come. I'll be working over the weekend for jury family to make sure, we continue to follow this attack, this ambush by people that Shanquella called friends. Unbeknownst to her, they were foes on the DL. And now they are engaging in this blatantly corrupt cover-up of trying to unpack what happened with their friend losing her life in Cabo, Mexico. Jury family, tap in. Let me know your thoughts on this concealing evidence, Nazir statement, the governor weighing in on this case, the governor of North Carolina, just all of these things as we continue to seek answers in the Shanquella Robinson case. Love you, jury family. Love you so much. Wishing y'all a happy holidays. Sending you lots of love and good vibes. Hopefully you all for vacation. Hopefully you're coasting until the end of the year. Please let me know your thoughts. Let me know also, jury family, if you think De La Rosa should at least issue a warrant for the destruction of evidence. Do you think he should just issue one off GP because of that act alone is criminal within itself? So please weigh in, jury family, and I will be touching in later this weekend. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Bye, jury family. Oh, and y'all know we couldn't end this without a little fake friends.
I've been down so long it look like up to me. They look up to me. I got fake people showing fake love to me. Straight up to my face. Straight up to my face. I've been down so long it look like up to me. They look up to me. I got fake people showing fake love to me. Straight up to my face. Straight up to my face. Something ain't right when we talking. Something ain't right when we talking. It look like you had your problems. Really, you never was solid. No, you can't sign me. You won't ever get to run me. Just know when I gotta reach, I reach back like 1-3, like 1-3, yeah. That's when they smile in my face. Whole time they wanna take my place. Whole time they wanna take my place. Whole time they wanna take my place. Yeah, I know they wanna take my place. I can tell that love is fake. Yeah, I don't trust the words you say. How you wanna click up after your mistakes? Look you in the face and it's just not the same. I've been down so long it look like up to me. They look up to me. I got fake people showing fake love to me. Straight up to my face. Straight up to my face. I've been down so long it look like up to me. They look up to me. I got fake people showing fake love to me. Straight up to my face. Straight up to my face. Straight up to my face, trying to play it safe. Vibe switch like that day. I could see it like right away. I came out, you changed up. I caught that whole play. Since things never been the same. That's when they smile in my face. Hold on, they wanna take my place. Hold on, they wanna take my place. Hold on, they wanna take my place. Yeah, I know they wanna take my place. I can tell that love is fake. Yeah, I don't trust the words you say. How you wanna pick up after your mistakes? Look you in the face and it's just not the same. I've been down so long, it look like up to me. They look up to me. I got fake people showing fake love to me. Straight up to my face. Straight up to my face. I've been down so long, it look like up to me. They look up to me. I got fake people showing fake love to me. Straight up to my face. Straight up to my face.